So today we will see basic HTML tags and few CSS. I hope you see my screen. Do you see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now if you want to type with me, you can type, or if you want to type by watching the recordings, you can do that as well. While you watch the recordings, you can type. So in a day 4, I can say index.html, I will write. Okay. Now in the HTML, let's create the HTML tag, then head tag, then body tag, inside head tag, title tag, and we can say basic HTML tags. And if typing permits, we will see some CSS also along with this. Basic HTML tags. So first tag is a body tag. First tag is a what? Body tag. We have seen what do you mean by body tag. Body tag gives you a facility to write HTML body in it, and that body can contain different other tags. First tag we are going to see is a div. What we are going to see? A div. Page division. So it will,
As of now, you have added only two, right? Head and body.
yeah, head and body, and I have added div also.
Okay.
So here div. Div is nothing but
Go under body.
under the body I have written div tag, correct. So div is nothing but what? Page division, which divides the page. Div is nothing but what? A page division which divides the page into the different rows. See, one more div. Here you can say one more div. 3 rows are there. So here we can say 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and what? 3. So let's open this reveal in Finder. I double click it. Can you see 1, 2, 3? If you see over here, can you see that? 1, 2, 3.
Added 3.
And here if you can see elements, inside elements, I just open right click, inspect, and inside body, this is the first division, second division, third division. First division, second division, third division. Correct?
From where you have opened that one, like, okay, I've added now like those div 1, div 2, div 3.
Okay.
So where to open that one? Open with live server, right?
No, not open with live server. First right click and reveal in Finder. If you are on the Microsoft,
Yeah, reveal in File Explorer.
yeah,
Or Finder. Okay.
correct.
I do have Finder. I do have like File Explorer.
Correct. Then you will find one HTML file over there, right? .html file.
Yeah, I've created one.
So this file you will find over there. And just double click, this file will open in the browser like this.
Yeah.
Can you see this file is open in the browser here?
Yeah, I can see 1, 2, 3 now.
1, 2, 3 you can see in the browser, right? Now, div tag. Let's understand what's a div tag. The div element, short form of the division or page division, is a fundamental container element in HTML used to group and organize other HTML elements for styling and the layouting purpose. Why div is used? Is a fundamental container element in HTML used to group and organize other HTML elements used to what? Group and organize other HTML elements for styling and layouting purpose. For styling and layouting purpose. It doesn't have any specific semantic meaning, but it is used to create the structural divisions within the web page. See, structural divisions within the web page. Then key points about the div element, it's a container. The div element serves a generic container for other content, allowing you to group related elements together. A div element serves as a generic container for other content, allowing you to group the related elements together. The primary purpose of the div is to provide target for applying CSS styles. Target for applying CSS styles by assigning a class or ID to the div. See, by assigning a class or ID to the div, you'll get to know what do we mean by this. You can apply the styling rules that affect the contained elements as a group, right? Now, if you want to style, now say I want to style this div only. So in the CSS, I will select this guy, right? Like this, I can write inline style, and here I can say width 100 pixels, height 100 pixels, background color red. Now you go here, refresh it. Can you see width and height 100 and 100 is applied. Width 100 pixel, height 100 pixel, background color red. We applied one style to this division, right? Presently we don't know any other way of selecting these two via separate CSS file or separate style tag, but we know this thing. We can style the elements in this way. So width is a property, height is a property, and background color is one of the CSS property which will give impact like this. Remember that you need to set width and height style, width 100%, right, and height 100%. Width 100%, height 100%. I will give a border or background color, we can say antique white, and refresh it. Can you see to the whole page a little background have been added to the whole page, which means that this body, whatever this antique white color is there, that much is the body. See here, how much is the body? How much is the body? So wherever you see this antique white color, and that is the body. So it is very, very important that you should apply width and height. You should apply width and height to the body first, right? It is very, very important to apply width and height to the body first. Remember that what I am telling. Hello? Am I audible?
Yes.
So what I am saying, whenever you start developing anything, it is very important to apply width and height to the body tag. Your body tag should have. Now what do you mean by the percent? What do you mean by pixel? You will get shortly. But as a general understanding, here you can say 100% means whatever you see on the screen, Width means this end to this end, this end to this end, 100%. Now I will show you 50%. What will happen? Sorry, not 150, just 50%, and refresh it. Width 50%. What's happening? Width 50%, height, let us say 50%. Width, or just a minute, let's write it in the pixel, 300 pixel, height 300 pixel. Okay, I got it, what's happening. Let's add one more property called as border. 1 pixel solid blue. Can you see? Actual width and height of your body is this much, right? Actual width and height of body is this much, but body tag is spreaded across the screen. That's why you can see the background color. Now here, if I say 50%, and this also, if I say 50%, now let's refresh it. Can you see? Exactly half of the width. So this much width is over here, and this much width is over here. So 50%, this is the 50%, and this is the 50%. So width and height of the body tag would be the 50%. If you say 100% here, width would be 100%. Can you see this much? And height would be 50%. So here you can say 100%, right? 100%, and this thing. Are you getting this point? Hello? Any questions? Am I audible?
Yes, no question.
If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me. If
I
anyone,
don't know, like there is no background thing, right? So that's why we were not able to see initially. So we added border thing. It was like happening in the background, but we were not able to see, right?
see, over here, no, I didn't get your question. Say that again.
So like we initially changed width and height to 50%, but we didn't see that output on the window because it was happening in there, but it was like border was not displayed, so it
No,
was
no, no,
like
no. No, see,
invisible basically, right?
see, if I write 50% width,
Mhm.
you will get that effect. Can you see? This is the 50%
Oh
border.
yeah, so it is available, but if you remove border, it will not be visible. So that's the reason we added border, correct?
No. So whenever you say body, right? If I remove the border, your actual width would be 50% only, right? If I remove the border, still your what you can say, width is 50% only, but because of this color, so this
Yeah, exactly. That is what I was saying. Yeah,
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 antique blue color is here also in this 50%, and remaining 50% also there is antique blue color. Getting my point? But
right.
why this is happening? Body is widespreaded across whole page, and that's why you might feel that color is not changing. So actually expected thing is that only into this 50% antique blue should be there, right? And not in this 50%, because we have set the width 50% over here. That is nothing but what, this much width we have set only. So it is expected that antique blue color should be fall only inside this part. Hello? But what is happening right now? Antique blue is antique white color, this color is throughout the page, but which doesn't mean that your body is having 100% width. Body is having 50% width only, and to show you that, I have added the border here. Correct?
And like, why is this like the color which is like spreaded across like 100%?
Yeah. So if you see, yeah,
Yeah.
if you see here, how much is the body? If you see here, HTML, as per the console, it says that HTML is having only this much body. If you see, if I hover cursor over here on the body, just a minute. If I hover cursor here on the body, right, it says that body is only this much. But why antique, just a minute, but why color is antique blue? Because HTML says that I will consider body as whole and soul width, and that's why it will apply color to the whole body. And there is one solution to this also. So to this HTML tag, okay, just let me show you in some another way. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Sorry, someone was on the door. I'm sorry.
No, it's
So where we were? So what was the question?
yeah, yeah. Background color and the width color. And you were like showing that division related background color.
Okay, I got it. I want to show you only 50% to be that. Okay. So so there are multiple ways to do this thing, right? If you want antique white color only to this thing, we need to do some other thing. But as far as HTML is concerned, HTML says that body tag, what HTML says that body tag is not 50%. See what I'm saying? HTML says that body tag is not 50%. The content of the body tag is 50%, but body tag is available from this end to the this end. Are you getting my point? Hello? How HTML treats this background color? HTML says that boss, body tag is not only this much. Body tag is this to this. But content you want to be in the 50% area. And that's why content, whatever content you will write inside the body tag, that would be in this 50%. But body tag is not only this much. Body tag starts from this end to this end. And that's why you get antique color everywhere. You getting my point?
Right, right. So basically, like whenever we write body tag by default, it's like the whole page that is 100%. Now we are saying that okay, let's width it to 50% or height, whatever. We are limiting that body weight to 50%, but actually, like the by default, it's 100%, and we are limiting for our content to be like 50%.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So when you say this whole page and see here, body, the content of the body is this much, but HTML says that antique white color I will give to the everything, to each and every page. Sorry, to each and every part of this page. Are you getting my point or not? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Now, now if you want to limit, well, there are some techniques now. So here also you can give a 50% of the width and you can give some color. Now see here, I was about to come to this point now. If antique white color is cleared, can we move ahead to the next section?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So here if you can see, the width of the body is what? 50%. How much is the width of body? 50%. Now if I write width 50%, do you expect this to this end red color, or how it is exactly?
No, it will be 50 of 50.
Then why you say it is, whenever you say width 50%, remember that whenever you say width 50%, because this 50% is nothing but what? This 50% is nothing but what? Whole. This border end to this border end. Right? To remove the confusion, let's remove this antique white color and refresh it. Now can you see this? See, white is also spreaded throughout the sections. Can you see that? Here is also white, here is also white. This is the width 50% of the body, but this is also a body. And that's why white is spreaded across the sections. That is okay, fine. Now next concept is that if you see, this complete width is there, whole width is there, and this width is 50%, right? And whenever you apply 50% to this internal div's width, whenever you say this div's width is 50%, do not consider that read from this end to this end of the body, because 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 this is 50%, that is okay, but for the internal elements, remember that internal elements, this width would be, so this end to this end is 100%. For the internal elements, the width from this end to this end would be what? 100%. To this div, to this div, this width 50% is 100% over here, and that's why if you say 100% over here, you will find the red color from this end to this end. Are you understanding this? Hello?
Yeah.
All of you, are you understanding?
Yeah.
So whenever you say width is 50% from this end to this end, right? So that is a width of body. But whatever elements are there inside that body, when you say 50%, remember that body's 50% would be considered as 100% for this element. So whenever you say 100%, it would be from this end to this end. This is very important concept in the designing part. This is very important concept in what? Designing part. Okay. So style tag we have written over here. And let's apply some style to this also. Style, and here I can say width colon and 100 pixels, and here I can say background color yellow, and refresh it. Can you see this width is this much only, because we didn't set the height. And if you don't set the height is inherited. Inherited means what? Whatever required height for this content, that height would be automatically captured. So whatever required height for this content, that height would be automatically captured over here. We didn't set height specifically. Can you see here? There is no height set specifically over here. So what is happening? Whatever height is required for this 2, that much height would be occupied by a whole div automatically. Hello? Is it clear? This thing is clear or not? Hello? Okay. Now this is about what you can say assigning the height. now what I wanted to do next part. So here we have seen a div element. Div is a container of containers. So I can write 3 over here, and I can write one more div inside this. Nesting. And inside this I can write 4. And can you see 3, 4? But look at the architecture. So this div can have multiple. Here you can say 3.1, here you can say 3.2, multiple divs. So that's what a main purpose of the div. One thing is that styling whole and soul content like this. Then div can be used for dividing a outer div. Dividing what? Outer div. So by the definition, div is nothing but what? Your section. Div is nothing but what? A row, a page division. And that div can be used for layouting purpose, right? Div can be used as a container. Div can be nested. Div can be what? Nested with each other. That is nothing but what this example is. One div, inside that there are 2 more divs. One HTML tag we are learning, that is nothing but what? A div. Okay. Now let's have one more div. Now what I wanted to do, input type. Can you see? So these tags, input type text, these tags are used for getting the user's interaction. Users are going to interact with these tags. So here if you can go refresh it, can you see one box is there, and into that box you can type something. Into that box you can type something. So here input box, one more thing about the input box. So here we can say input, can you see type text, means here you will get text box. Input type button, input type button, here you will get one button. Can you see, we can give a value also, value, and say okay, refresh it. Can you see, this is input type and this is button okay. So we have created this div, these divs like this. So this is a nested div, this is also nested div, this is a div, and now inside this div we have inputs, two inputs, right? Similarly we can have, now I will create one more div like this, I will create one more div like this, and into that select a tag. Can you see select? Now so this is, remember that this is a tag, right? And this thing is called as attribute, this thing is called as attribute, this thing is called as attribute value. Now see, there are lot of input types are available. Just make control space. Can you see, these many input types can be given. You cannot give your name over here, it's not possible. You cannot give your own name over here. There are predefined values. Just go
How
to,
you selected with which key?
just go to the inside the two quotes and control space. Here you can see how many types are available: button, checkbox, color, date, date time local, email, file, and all other things are available over here. Can you see, these many input types are available? So you can create elements of these many input types. You can create elements of these many input types. Are you getting this? Okay. Then similarly to the select tag, we can have option. Now what is the select tag? You will get to know. Option, we can say, here you can say Android, another option tag iOS, then RIM, research in motion, BlackBerry, then Palm OS, right? Now go here, refresh it. Can you see, this is a select tag, iOS, RIM, and Palm. You can select the operating system like this. So a few basic tags we are understanding. How to write the tags, technically what we are practicing, how to write the tags, nothing else. So div tag you will use most frequently. Div tag you will use most frequently. You might use input tag very often. Input type text and input type button. You'll use many times. Okay. Then we have seen how to set the style over here. How to set the style over here. And what are the different properties. Now you didn't ask me a question. This is the border property. Remember that each property is separated by semicolon. There are three properties: width, semicolon, height, semicolon, border, semicolon. Now when you say border 1px solid red, so this much whole is the value. This much whole is the value. 1px means how much thick border you would be needing. So if I make 5px, remember that how much is the 1px? This much is a 1px. Refresh it. Can you see, this much is a 5px? Right? Solid means in this way, a consistent. If you can say, now see, there are also properties: border, dotted, and refresh it. Can you see, dotted border? You will find like this. and the color you can set. So meaning of the 5px you understood. What do you mean by dotted you understood. What do you mean by blue understood. But whenever you write the style, remember that style is an attribute. Style is an attribute of the HTML element. Style is an attribute of HTML element. Similarly, input is a type, sorry, input is the HTML element. Type is an attribute. Type is an attribute. Value is an attribute. Whatever you write between this tag and this tag, so sorry, whatever you write between the tag is called as content. So these two input tags are the content of this div, or in other word you can say the inner html of these divs. So this is div, this is div. Inner html of this div is these two input elements. Inner html of this div is what? Input elements, two input elements. Agree? In the same fashion, if you see, input type text is there is no content over here. You don't have any content to this, but this tag is having something called as attribute and its value. Attribute and its value, right? Attribute and its value. This is also attribute, okay is the value. This is also attribute, okay is the value.
Well, question.
Yeah.
Like we do have open tag and end tag for every tag, right?
Correct.
Tag, option tag.
Yeah, I'm coming to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you see here, div tag, there is a start tag and end tag, right? There is a start tag and end tag. So you can write something, sorry, you can, if you try to write something like this, / input. See, there is no harm in writing input, right? But there are types of tags. Just a minute. Now, when you say input tag, there are certain tags, the tags which don't have value, right? Tags which don't have value, sorry, tags which don't have content, it is not necessary to be closed like this. If you write it, there is no harm. If you write it, there is no harm. See, refresh it, still it won't be giving you problem. But in HTML, input element is a void element. Void elements are those elements that do not have any content, and such tag do not require the closing tag. They are self-closing and can be written in two forms. See, this is unnecessary. So when this comes into the picture, when this tag is having some content, but we will never have content to the input tag. So this is not necessary. This is not necessary. Same things can be written in a two ways, right? If you want to close this, remember that these tags are self-closing tags. Why self-closing tag? Input element is a void element. What do you mean by void element? Void elements are those elements that do not have any content. We will never write the content, right? So either you keep as it is, or you can write space and / if you want to close it anyhow. So this will happen internally. These are the void elements. These elements will never have content. Like select tag is having content. Option. See, option is also having content. So we have start tag, we have end tag. Start tag, end tag. But input tag will never have content. So if you write it, it is redundant. It is absolutely not necessary to write in this way. Getting my point? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes. Yeah.
Is it clear why this is the interview type question? Why we don't write in tag for the input element? Answer should be like this. Some tags in the HTML are the void tag, meaning that they will never have a content. Content means what? This much is a content of this div tag. This much is a content of this select tag, right? This much is a content of this div tag. This much is the content of this select tag. In the same fashion, input will never have the content. So you don't require end tag over here. Correct?
Yes.
Clear, right? Okay. So see, style attribute we have seen, style attribute we have seen, width we have seen, right? Now let's go to the document over here. So we have what you can say div tag lists. Let's see what are the lists. Some basic tags we are going to see. I'll create one more div, and here we can say OL, ordered list. Inside that LI. Inside that what? LI. Now what do you mean by ordered list? Here we can say ABC, PQR, LMN, XYZ, like this. And if you go here and refresh it, can you see unordered? Sorry, this is a ordered list which would be having some ordering 1 2 3 4 5 like that. It would be having what? Ordering. So one of the mostly used HTML tag, ordered list. And here we can say UL. Here UL, unordered list, bullets you will see. Unordered list, ordered list. Unordered list and what? Ordered list. Getting my point? When you say unordered, bullets will appear. When you say ordered, 1 2 3 4 numbering will appear. So OL, UL, ordered lists, unordered lists. Correct? So this tag is also. So today what we are understanding how to write tags, how to write different tags. We also have understood what you can say. We also have understood few attributes, like type is attribute, value is attribute, value is attribute, right? This is what? Ordered list, unordered list. Li stands for list item. What Li stands for? What Li is standing for? List items. So every ordered list or unordered list would be having different list items. This ordered list would be having these list items. This unordered list would be having these list items. So here we have seen two types of the tags. With these tags, user is going to interact. This tag is used for structuring purpose. This tag is used for what? Structuring purpose. This tag is also used for structuring purpose. Right. So there are other tags also, like used for structuring purpose. Span. So what do you mean by span? The tag which is again used for layouting purpose. So when you say span tag, it is an inline container. See, inline container used to mark up a part of the text or the part of the document. It does not have any meaning. It does not have any semantic meaning of its own. and it is used to apply the styles only. It is used to apply the styles to the specific section. I will show you now. So we can say, here we can say paragraph. So this is another tab, paragraph, and here we can say HTML or web development. In a web development, we use HTML5, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So paragraph. So I will create one more paragraph. So you will get to know. It will start from the new line. Go here, refresh it. Can you see paragraph? There is a little gap has been added. So this is the first paragraph. This is what? Second paragraph. Now I want to color this HTML to the red, green, and JavaScript to the blue. So this is the whole section. This is one paragraph. But inside that paragraph, I want to provide some special styling to this HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Well, if you apply styling over here, style over here, and if you can say text, or you can say font. Okay, let's not use font. Let's say color red. But what will happen over here? Whole paragraph would be in the red. Whole paragraph would be in the red. But I don't want this. I want this to be red, green, and blue. How to do that? And for that, HTML says that, boss, you can use inline container. Div is a multi-line container. Paragraph span is what type of container only, but it is inline container. So I will write this into the span, this into the span, and JavaScript into the span. And what? JavaScript. So here you can apply style, color red. Now see, to this span, start of the span, class, not sorry, I'm sorry, style, color green, and span class, sorry, why I'm writing class again and again, style blue, sorry, color blue. Right? Now go here and refresh it. Can you see? In a web development, we use HTML in red, CSS green, JavaScript blue. Do you understand this? Span. What is span? Span, the span tag is an inline container used to mark up the part of the text. Part of the text or part of the document. It does not have any semantic meaning. I'm again and again using, at the time of div also I said it does not have any semantic meaning. So you will get to know the word semantic meaning when we learn, when we understand HTML5, right? So span tag is an inline container used to mark up a part of the text or a part of the document. It does not have any semantic meaning of its own and is used to apply the styles to the specific section of the text or a group of the inline elements. Inline elements is very important. It is often used in the combination with the CSS to apply the styles such as the font, color, spacing, and the specific parts of the text. Remember that the way we have used inline. So it's a paragraph, and inside the paragraph with this much text you need to do something. You will go ahead with what? Span. Getting my point? Hello? Am I audible or not?
Yes. So like one question like
Mhm.
so we can like under any of the node wherever we have data, we can add a span over there.
Correct. You can
For
add span.
example, I'm saying any node it means example. Can we add that in under what you can say the list node, right?
Yeah, here.
We can add anywhere, right?
Yeah,
As per the
correct.
segment.
Anywhere. Yeah, can you see here I have added the span and it will work, no problem.
No, I'm just
Correct?
yeah, got it.
And we can apply style over here, style,
Yes.
and border, we can say 1px, width you need to give 1px, type of the border solid, and color of the border red, and refresh it. And can you see that much would be in the red?
So, as you have added the style into that one pixel, solid, and red, if that sequence is changed, will that work? Or we can
Okay,
even the same sequence?
actually good question. So I will first write solid, then write 1 pixel. Okay, refresh it and see what happens. See,
Okay, yeah, it will
no, no,
work.
no, it doesn't work actually.
Oh, okay.
So what happens sometimes if you use the frameworks, some frameworks have, okay, for this I would like to open the documentation, just a minute, or just make red first, red 1px.
Or do you need to clear cache or something or no?
I think not required. Just a minute, I need to open the documentation. See, there are possibilities.
Mhm.
Let's open the Mozilla. Just a minute. Now what I wanted to do, Mozilla, why this is opening? Just a minute, mods, web development. So I am trying to open this guy. And here CSS3 guide, CSS. Here border, backgrounds and borders. No, I have read that part somewhere and I wanted to show you that part. Borders. Yeah. So we can set border something like this. Can you see 1px dotted outset? This is also type. With all shorthand properties, any omitted sub values will be set their initial values. Importantly, border cannot be used to specify the custom value, for example, border image, but instead border shorthand. It's a shorthand actually. So whenever you say border, only border, it is a shorthand for, it's a shorthand for three things. I will answer your question. So whenever you say border, answer is in the shorthands only. Whenever you say border, only border is equal to these three things. Can you see?
Oh, got it. Yep, yep.
This guy and this guy are same. So only border is a shorthand for these three things: border width 1px, border style solid, border color black, right? Border color black. Now if you don't want to write these three properties, you can write only one property. I will show you by writing three properties also. Let's have a style and border width. It's too much, right? Writing this much is too much. Border width 1px, then border color. So here sequence doesn't matter. Border color red.
Yeah, because we are writing in the full length.
Yeah, correct. And border width, border style. Can you see these many things are there? Dotted, hidden. Let's say dotted. Okay. But your browser is smart. That's why here it is not giving you any error, right? But in the CSS, the values in the CSS, the sequence of the values in the border property does matter. The border property can be set using the shorthand notation or individually specifying three components: border width, border style, border color. In the code border red solid px, the values are in a correct sequence that it indicates that the border should have 1 pixel, solid style and the color red. If you were change the sequence such as a border solid 1px red, it will still work because CSS is able to recognize the values based. CSS is able to recognize the values based on their order. CSS is that smart, remember that. So CSS is identifying what do you mean to say about if you change the order also. Red solid 1px, from its values CSS is correctly interpreting that okay, so this must be value to the border width, this must be value to the border style, and this must be value to the border color. You getting my point? Hello? But whenever you write the sequence matters. You should write in a proper sequence. There are some frameworks, and those frameworks check the sequence also, like React or other frameworks. You getting my point?
Right. If it's in full, it doesn't matter, but if it's shorthand,
Ha.
you need to provide some sequence.
Correct. You need to follow the sequence which is given by the official documentation. 1px solid black. So this sequence has been given. Whenever you use the shorthands,
Is this universal sequence across browsers, or will be different based on
no,
the
no, no.
browser?
It's a whatever CSS you. So just scroll below here. Can you see? They have given the browser compatibility.
Oh, okay.
So this, if this is the border is our property, shorthand notation. Just scroll below at the end. For everything you can scroll below, and here you can say browser compatibility. So the border is applicable, is compatible on the Chrome, Edge, Firefox, Opera, Safari, Android, whatever, all these browsers, right? So it is same across these given browsers, correct? Now a shorthand notation for CSS. Now I have read it clearly that they say that the property is a shorthand for the following properties: color, style, and width. So here at least you can write solid, it will understand that okay, it's a style. You can say 2px dotted, it will consider that it's a width or a style. It's a style and the color. Medium dashed green, width, style and color, right? Something like that. Okay, see here they have clearly said that the order of the values does not matter, right? The order of the values does not matter. Why? Your browser understands, what you can say, browser understands the things. But if you use some frameworks and if you change the order, if you use frameworks and if you change the order, you will get an error. Hello? In, I think in Angular you get the error if you write the border in some different way. Okay, but see, there are some engines and those engines identify the order, and that's why order doesn't matter in this case. Well, this is about, what you can say, few HTML tags and the things. Actually, it was a good question. Order matters or order doesn't matter. Yeah, anything else?
No, I'm good also. Good for today. I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we see the correct indentation when we writing HTML?
Mm-hmm. So say that again.
The correct indentation.
Okay, indentation you are talking about. So presently HTML says that I don't worry about all these things, right? See, if you can write in this way also, that is okay. In this way also, that is okay. This indentation is also okay, no problem. Just save it. Here you just save it, refresh it here, and still it will work, no problem, right? But the correct indentation, as far as the indentation is concerned, just right click and format the document. It will auto format in the required indentation. See, if if you can see, this is a outer tag, this is the outer tag, and this is the inner tag. So inner tag should have a tab. So here you can go and hit the tab, hit the tab. If you have anything else inside it, again hit the tab. That would be the correct indentation. And if you want to auto indent, right click, format the document. It will auto indent in its required thing. Just refresh it like this. Okay. Any question, team?
No.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Huh? Yeah, now see, I'll open this one of the Git link, sorry, Stack Overflow link. Here, if you can see, does it matter when I use the CSS like this, right? So you may read over here, when I use the border top property, width style color is required or not. NetBeans IDE 8 Plus shows the color picker if you use it in a correct format, right? If you use it in the correct format, then anyone knows how to change the order 1px solid red. Okay, I'm assuming you are asking what the problems could be if we don't correct order. But see, some frameworks, you usually won't get a problem. All browsers that I know will interpret your input as best as possible, even if not in the correct order. That said, do stick with the official order. It will avoid problems with the other less lenient clients, parsers, and such. So it is always preferred way to stick to the whatever they have said, a sequence. Okay.
Yep, got it.
Fine, let's call it for a day. We'll meet tomorrow. Okay.
Sure, yep, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Git and GitHub.
Yeah, so Git and GitHub we will see in day after tomorrow's session. Once I will give you one more. See, in the first 3 days, what we have seen, introduction to the, what you can say, introduction to all three technologies. Now, I want to type some code in front of you like this, so that you should ask me questions and I can clarify it. Correct? And once that thing happen, and then we will see what you can say Git. Git would be there on the day after tomorrow's session. Fine?
And like I have installed Node, like what should I do? Like
So
what should I?
yeah, so if you have installed Node would be familiar for, sorry, Node would be required for JavaScript. Okay.
Oh,
Once we start JavaScript, you will require the Node. Right now, you don't require the Node. Even when we run the HTML production grade projects, you need a Node. We would be creating the Node projects only. That's why Node and VS Code we have installed. Fine? Yeah. And the Git session day after tomorrow. Tomorrow we would be having some more hands-on. Now, what I request you, I will push this much code. We can say HTML, CSS3, HTML, CSS, what you can say hands-on. Basic hands-on, we can say. Basic hands-on. So tomorrow we will do some hands-on for the JavaScript also. And then we will install, we will work with Git. Okay. Yeah, so I have pushed the code. You may check into the repository. And what I request you, just type this much code. Whatever I have typed, try a variety of the tags. Try different tags and come up with the questions.
So one question, like I believe you do have a documentation, right, somewhere
Yeah.
with respect to HTML. So at least link, we can go over those. Yeah, if you have the, what you can say, is this available with us?
Yeah, I have shared this. I have shared this link on the day one itself.
Okay.
Right. Again, I will share. Here you can see, here you can get the link. And I will paste it into the chat box. Please bookmark it.
So whenever we'll try, we'll try this thing, we'll try different tags.
Say that again.
So whenever I will practice, we'll try different tags available.
Yeah, no problem. You can try anything and come up with the questions. Okay. Yeah. So document is here. You may refer the document. So link has been shared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Let's call it for a day. We'll meet tomorrow.
Yep. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm disconnecting.